Tom, do you think people are going to be switching their destinations from southern Europe to northern?
I think that's very likely one of the responses, because I think this year is exceptional now, but by the time we're into the 30s, it's probably going to be fairly normal across the whole of the northern Mediterranean littoral. So, of course, people are going to want to move north. The trouble is, the infrastructure that we put in to cope with mass tourism in southern Europe was put in when there was nobody there, in effect. If you try to put in that sort of infrastructure in northern Europe, you're going to run into massive amount of conflict, planning conflicts over siting the sort of facilities you'd need to make that sort of shift. So it may not be as straightforward as people think.
I think this coincides, interestingly enough, with Amsterdam banning cruise ships.
Yeah.
Because they're so worried about the mass tourism affecting the quality of life in their city.
Yeah, the mass tourism has become a central part of the economy of that northern Mediterranean littoral. It's not a central part of the economy of northern European coastlines. No. So I think you'll have a real trouble persuading people that they should put up with a sort of shift. On top of which, it's going to be really difficult to get a tourist industry to make that sort of investment. If you worry about the investment needed to go for net zero, you have to start thinking, if you wanted to shift your tourist industry en masse to somewhere else, then you're also talking about a massive expenditure in infrastructure of one kind or another.
Simon, do you think we should be looking forward to beach holidays on the North Sea?
Well, some of us already think that somewhere like the Baltic Coast, where I was earlier this year, is absolutely fine. If you're there in June, July, August, you've actually got all the warmth you need for young children. You're not going to get too sunburnt. Having said all of that, talking to the travel industry, I did a ring round this week, saying, well, how many people have cancelled? Presumably bookings have stopped, and they said nope. Carrying on, people booking last minute for the Mediterranean as much as they normally do. So it
was absolutely appalling in southern Spain this week. I mean, I know I was there working. But, I mean, you couldn't go out as a tourist. I mean, it was too hot to eat in the street at midnight.
Maybe, I think it was Rudyard Kipling who said mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. Right. But people also, and by the way, Tom, I think if there were a big move, we don't want to go to the Mediterranean anymore, we want to go to the Baltic or to the Atlantic coast or indeed to the North Sea or the Irish Sea, then you can be pretty clear that the travel industry would put in whatever was being demanded, because they're very good at that. But I don't think anybody has enough people have put together, OK, so we're flying a lot and the temperature's warming up. I wonder if those things are connected. And a lot of scientists would say they definitely are.